seriously, I don't know whether an achievement or not lost anyway, because the Nigeria president can award those soldiers will be say unfortunately they lose their with their wife for Nigeria data side. Well, on one hand, it's good because all the families they are like they are protected in finances aspect, okay. But in another hand, those laws where they get who go fit bring back their people, and above all, waiting lead to all this. For me, I believe the Nigeria for decide make it do better to protect its soldiers and the civilians. Wanna see the video?
A posthumous national honor. The 4 gallant officers have been accorded the award of members of the Order of Niger, MON. The 13 courageous soldiers who also lost their lives have been awarded the Officers of the Federal Republic Medal. I commiserate with the families of our fallen heroes and the entire armed forces. I share in their pain and grief, the grief you carry today. It is my prayer that God will comfort all who are bereaved as a result of this tragedy.
A befitting funeral. May their souls rest in peace. In the meantime, the Defense Headquarters has declared 8 persons wanted in connection with the killing of the officers. The military authorities made the announcement in a post on X with a display of their photographs stating that they were prime suspects in the killing of the officers in Okuama community in Ugweli South local government area of the state. Well, Ruben Baru, who is among the 8 prime suspects connected with the killing of the soldiers in a viral video last week, accused Tompolo of masterminding the attacks.
This one, now be my last video when I go do concerning this Okuama and Okoloba fight. Okuama and Okoloba, they get land issue. The land issue, small crisis called a day. Or now, where be Ijaw people? Where federal government give power to the bomb buckery, to the bomb diesel, and they cook. They use the same army, they escort their own, they go sell. They betray their own blood. That man, he go use the army, carry people from Okuama community. 3 people where they carry, they slaughter them. Now, they come back to come carry community leaders. And I know very well, say, once the community leaders are captured, the youth are powerless. The action take place. When they make comments, say, na peacekeeping, all those army come. Point of correction, no army come for peacekeeping. They fight in favor of Tompolo, because Tompolo have ordered them to do so. When they say, make I show my face, all these are comments, when they comment, now just ordinary written. Now writing on just the right. If I know if you talk true for this my land, you know get where I go when I go talk true, when I go believe am. Now this video will be the last video when I go do.
All right, Ruben Baru there. Earlier this morning, Dr. Abati, I heard you saying you were scandalized by the fact that he bears the same name as you do. But, you know, as always, they are still suspects at this point, and I'm, happy that at least that there's some sort of, investigation already taking place for our 17 gallant soldiers who lost their lives unnecessarily.
Well, Ruben Baru said this is the last video he will make. I hope it's not that he's planning to, commit suicide or, end up as a fugitive. But these are persons who have been declared wanted. Now, what the law says is that if you've been declared wanted, the sensible thing to do is to hand yourself over if you have nothing to hide.
Yes.
And if you have any information, it's not by running away from the law. It's by, going to the relevant authorities and assisting them. As I said earlier on this morning, a man is innocent until proven guilty. So whoever thinks that they are innocent should just go to the authorities, having been declared wanted. And I hope that the same authorities that have declared them wanted will not play possum, that's go asleep, sleepwalk, until they also disappear like Anjawala, that Binance director, to further ridicule the Nigerian state and the ineffectuality of the state. However, again, we commiserate with the families of the slain officers who were laid to rest yesterday. And it's good to hear that the Nigerian state is not just honoring them. We have also been reassured that the families will be given maximum support and that, their entitlements will be paid. In fact, I think it was President Tinubu who said he was ordering the military authorities to ensure that all the entitlements of the affected soldiers will be paid within 90 days. Yeah. And I hope that nobody will disobey the commander-in-chief and come back to say, oh, we didn't get alert from the Ministry of Finance or no provision was made for this. In the same manner, every other soldier who may have fallen, whether in the Boko Haram front or in any other theater of war, the Nigerian government has an obligation to make sure that their entitlements are paid and that their widows and children are not subjected to unnecessary hardship. In this particular case, we understand that 3 of the wives of the widows, are heavy. They are pregnant. One 4 months, another one 5 months, another 8 months. Now, those children, when their mothers are delivered of them, they are coming to this world as fatherless children, right, because their father, served Nigeria. The General Lagbaja said 21 orphans in total. 21 children have been rendered fatherless, plus the 3 that we are expecting, that's 24. So it's not just that 17 persons have been killed, 24 other Nigerians have been put in a very difficult circumstances. So we thank President Tinubu for even saying that even those unborn children will also enjoy scholarship from the Nigerian state. It's not that this should be pronounced. We expect that the necessary mechanism will be put in place to ensure that the Commander-in-Chief's directive is carried out. And then beyond all of this, the president said houses will be given to the affected families. Now, a word for the in-laws, because Nigerians are very funny people. Let no in-law come forward and say, oh, it was my brother that died in Okuama. They cannot give his wife a house, in all these widowhood problems that we have. The Nigerian military should take further steps to support those women so that if any useless in-law shows up saying they are next of kin or their uncle or their father, those women, they need protection from these problematic in-laws that we have in Nigeria. Despite the fact that in Mojoku versus Mojoku, the Court of Appeal had ruled that widows, women have rights, even, when their husbands have departed. That's the other part of it that I think we should point out.
Well said, Dr. Abati. Thank you for highlighting that. Again, may their souls rest in peace. We'll take another story. The 137 Kaduna school children rescued from terrorists on Sunday, March 24th will today be reunited formally with their families. The Secretary to the State Government of Kaduna, Dr. Abdul Kader Mayeri, made the announcement on Wednesday when they hosted the school children with their parents at the Women and Children Center, where they are undergoing psychosocial therapy. Some of the parents and school children at the gathering shared their experience and thanked the Kaduna State Governor, Uba Sani, for his efforts in ensuring their release.
Da uwan marayu da suka taimaka mana Allah ya sa muka ga iyayen mu lafiya su ma suka ga mu lafiya muna fata Allah ya ƙara ɗaukaka su mu ma Allah ya ba mu fatan da muke buri a rayuwarmu.
Za a yi haƙuri daidai da aka ji muryar ba wani abu ne murna ne take da ina cikin hawaye. Babu shakka Allah kaɗai sai irin cikin wurin da ke cikin kirazanmu. Na farko muna ƙara miƙa godiyarmu ga Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala da ya mana baiwa da wannan rahama. Babu abin da za mu ce mai girma gwamna kun bai da addu'o'i da fatan alheri wa waɗannan yara. Allah sa ya kama shi alheri, Allah ma ƴaƴansa albarka. Mai girma gwamna da gwamnatinsa muna roƙon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ya tsare masa, ya iya mashi, ya rike mashi da jami'an shi. Ubangiji Allah sa ya gama ya maimaita ƙara maimaita, Allah kai shi gaba. Kuma mun fara jin albishir da cewa waɗannan yara namu in Allah da mai girma gwamnati zai jajirce har sai ya ga sun gama university. Ubangiji Allah ya da haka.
All right, Vimbai, we took this story yesterday and we discussed it, and I did mention that the parents are allowed in that center to visit their children, and that's one of the videos. But it appeared that the government were listening as well, because by tomorrow they will be formally reunited with their family. They will be returned to their parents, and hopefully all of the allegations or accusations of exploitations or what have you will quell the situation. But we really thank the Kaduna State government and governor for taking these steps. I think it is important that he was able to shelter those children. I mean, knowing that they had gone through all of that trauma for how many days was it? 17 days, for him to take the time out to make sure that the children get the help that they deserve.
Absolutely. And Oji, thank you for seeing this through, because these are the visuals that we needed to see, so that, they say the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So we needed to see this. But just to reiterate that this is the beginning of a long journey for these children. This is only the beginning of healing. It's a lot of trauma, and some people in their entire lifetimes are unable to overcome such trauma. So I don't wish that on them. I do hope that, this journey is, that they're carried along. That it doesn't just end here. I hope they're able to be consistent. Now, very, very quickly to the suspect who made the video. I think Ruben Baru. I think it's showing, let's just leave him as the suspect, because I think it's showing a level of brazenness that is concerning, that our cybersecurity laws have become so lax that, the other day we had a gentleman who was claiming to be a terrorist or a bandit with money. People post such indicting videos freely onto our internet because they know that nobody is going to trace them or track them. He should be terrified to make this type of video.
All right. Let me just comment on that. He definitely is not terrified, and he said that he is bold, because he said also that he is a son of a military officer, and he's saying these things to protect his community. Apparently he's been posting on social media before without his video, and that's why he said, now you guys have seen my face, this is the last video. He's been documenting the process for a while, and now he's a suspect.
Then he should stop running. Then he needs to hand himself over so he can share all of this valuable information that he has. But this trend we're seeing of suspected criminals coming to social media to post, to flaunt, to whatever. No.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Like Dr. Abati had said, I hope when he says this is the last video, he's not attempting to commit suicide. He should, like you said, turn himself in, and I think that's the appropriate thing to do. All right, we'll take another story. Debola Daniel, son of former Ogun State Governor Gbenga Daniel, took to social media on Wednesday to share an alarming incident where he was denied access to a Kentucky Fried Chicken branch in Lagos State because of his disability. The incident unfolded at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport branch in Lagos, where he was reportedly singled out and informed no wheelchairs allowed by the restaurant manager. Taken to social media in a heartfelt, lengthy statement, Daniel shared his distressing experience, detailing the humiliation he endured and the discrimination faced by disabled individuals in Nigeria. His statement reads in part, "Being disabled often rolls over my spirit, leaving behind a trail of shattered dignity and forgotten humanity. nowhere more so than in Nigeria. I have never been the type of person to make a fuss or complain about my disability. My approach has always been laissez-faire. Ultimately, it is what it is. It is a part of my identity. And like everyone else, I have my days of self-doubt and confusion as to how and if I fit in society. To be disabled in Nigeria is to be undesirable, unwelcome, and unaccepted. As I have said before, it is a lonely, scary, and isolated space. Well, kudos, really, for calling out this situation that has been plaguing Nigeria for a while. Rufai, I'm coming to you on this story. The issue of disability and the complete neglect is what I will call it, because how dare they tell him he cannot enter a facility because he's using a wheelchair? Rufai.
So, number one, I feel very passionate about this because I had served in some think tank by the Lagos state government, I think about during Ambode's tenure, about disability. And that think tank was to get, a couple of recommendations that finally became a bill about the Lagos state even disability, persons living with disability fund. We did some extensive work on that. And the way people living with disability are being treated in the country is a very sad one. We have a society that doesn't care for people. I don't know why, till date, authorities have not gone to that KFC probably to shut it down, because you ought to have disability ramps. And most establishments don't even have it. So let's even start from there. Disability access to most hotels and establishments and the whole gamut of it.
Yes.
But this is a country where people living with disability had to go protest in the National Assembly and they were beaten and they were hurt. And that's the kind of society we live in. We don't even care for people enough, let alone people that are living with disability. We just look down on them in society, and this has to stop. We need to be able to have a strong advocacy, and it must start by bringing this outlet, to book, to be able to make it a deterrent that you don't do this to any human being in the first place. I mean, in some other climes of the world, in every parking lot there, disability parking, ample parking for disability. And for those that treated this young man this way, you forget in a hurry that we are all disability waiting to happen one way or the other. You pray to live long, right? When you get into old age, you have some level of disability. I mean, I'm saying this because I had a father that had some level of disability.
Yeah, I remember.
12 years ago, 12 going to 14 years ago, my father all of a sudden developed a tumor in his spinal cord. He was in his 70s. He was an agile man all this while. Nothing had happened to him. But he had a tumor in his spinal cord and it shaped the way he lived till the end of his life. It could be an accident, it could be anything. So why do we treat people this way? And why don't we teach them how to treat people in the first place? So I think that establishment, one, I'm happy they're called out. Secondly, they should go there. Probably the members of staff should be taken through a proper training. And we should also check, do they even have disability ramps in the first place? What's disability access? And if they have any fines to pay, they should be made to pay fines. We can't live in a society that is just mad. Sometimes we're just having a society that is going berserk. As regards